And we are in. Do I have anything clever to say off the bat? No. No, I don't. I've been doing some ring modulation sidechaining, which is really interesting. Really very interesting. And if you're into sidechaining and you don't know about ring mod sidechaining, then yeah, you should. Because it's another tool in the box to control how much your kick is mixed with your bass. So, oh, and even snares as well. So this tune here, I changed a few things on it while I was mixing it last night. I haven't. These are the two sidechainers. They're amazing. We have the snare sidechain here. This is the everything channel, so this group has everything except the drums, all the sounds, all the basses. We have a sidechain here for the snare and a sidechain and one for the kick. So the snare is fed into this as a sidechain input, and this white, well actually let's show you the kick one. This white line here is, oh, is it the red line? Hang on a minute. It does confuse me sometimes. I think the white line is what is being ducked. I'm still new to this, so yeah, okay, so if we turn, that's the volume envelope, that's like traditional sidechain, and this plugin has a mixture of both. Gee, oi oi. So yeah, ring modulation, RM sidechaining. I started last night? Was it last? It wasn't last night. The stream, I've already touched on RM sidechaining just a little bit, but it's helping me solve bass and kicks conflicting just a little bit better, a little bit. So the white line here represents how much the bass is being ducked. The kick is, if this white line was flat, it would mean all the bass signal gets through. So all it's not just bass, it's everything. So all the everything but the drums is in this group, else it would just be flat, this white line. But because I'm feeding the audio from the kick into the sidechain input, it's generating this visual of where the gaps are in between the waveform, in between the waves of the kick. It's quite hard to describe what it does. I watched a video on it today from someone else, and it is methodically showing these waveforms, and it's pretty good. Well, if you watch this, it's only, I got 10 minutes through, and then I finally sort of could see what he was talking about. That's Ring Mod Sidechain on YouTube. You can see here, this is the bass, it's just a sine wave. This is the kick. It's it just looks like a kick but zoomed in. And then it's the signal of the kick is rectified, which means everything above the middle line is flipped downwards. So you can see that pattern matches up the above matches this. And with that pattern, that now is going to control the volume of the bass track. So when you do that with ring modulation, which is just multiplying volumes together, it's just like you're literally using it to control the volume, but very quickly. It's like faster than a normal sidechain. When you apply that to this sine wave, you get this. And if you look at each, if you compare it to every moment on this sine wave, you get this kind of look. And then when the kick and the ring modded bass are added back together, so you hear the kick and the ring mod sidechain bass. When you add them back together, you get this one on the bottom row here, which is, so it's a combination. What it does is, if you've got a bass at zero, zero loudness, full loudness, and you've got a kick, and you use ring mod sidechaining, when you play them both together, it will still stay at zero. So that's the benefit. It doesn't make your limiter duck, which is kind of what you might want sometimes when you're mastering and mixing. If there's a way of getting your kick and your bass to sit together without causing, without them multiplying together and causing huge peaks, that then you're potentially, well, you've got more control then over the sound. So yeah, I've been applying it to my tunes that I've been struggling to mix, because one of the things I'm always balancing all the way right until I've finished the track and called it done and it's ready for release is side chaining, and just changing it by a few dB here and there, because I'm trying to strike a balance between how much it pumps, how much the level of the bass and everything ducks down when there's a kick, because sometimes I want some mid bass to always be there. Sometimes when a kick happens, I don't want it to duck down. I want to be able to hear it. So RM sidechaining kind of gives you a bit of the best of both. You can have the signal coming through where these white bits are, in between the bits of the kick that pass through zero. So when they pass through zero, that's when these peaks are the loudest, and so you can get a little bit of your mid-bass signal through in each one. So yeah, the designer of Baraska sidechainer has its limits as well. It has like artifacts. It's hi Miles. Yeah, it's as well as, so it says the designer of this. So, I mean, this is not he made this plugin, but this concept has been around for a while. You can actually do it manually with like a ring mod plugin, and just route a few things around in your DAW and just do it yourself. But he's done it all in this one Max for Live plugin. Hi Francesco. Modular Ableton. Phase plant maybe. Wagwan James. Yeah, so for this purpose that RM sidechain has its limits, it does introduce sort of artifacts. Although I quite like the artifacts. It kind of sounds like you're still getting the punch of the kick and all the bass, but you're getting this like buzz with that goes kind of with the bass and your kick frequency. It kind of fits in. But if that's too much, you can sort of reduce the gain. Depth. Wait, we want depth on full, but reduce the RM gain. So it kind of like um, wait, the gain. I'm getting mixed up with the gain. I think it's the smoothing. So if you turn up the smoothing, it doesn't go. It doesn't let as much of the thing you're sidechaining through in between the zero crossings of the when the kick's playing. So you get more of the pumping. But if you turn it off, smooth that off, you get essentially none of the pumping, or you get this very extremely rapid pumping that goes along with the frequency of the kick. But like I say, it has these artifacts, and as you can see, like it would kind of, and it goes at the frequency of your kick, because those peaks there are literally following the quiet bits of when your kick crosses zero, the waveform of. So, and I'll keep saying that because it took me a while to understand it. Oh no, I've not. I've heard. Yeah, ring mod sidechain, James. Yeah, no, it's mad. Like I've known about it for a while, and I've just thought I can't do that because I know you can build it manually. You can build. All you need is like a ring mod plugin that you can sidechain and have a sidechain input going into it. And once you've got that, you can basically make this on your own. But the beauty of this Baraska sidechainer is that it does it all. It's all in one nice little plugin, and it works quite well. It has crashed Ableton a few times while it's been. If you drag it in while it's playing, it doesn't seem to like that. But I'm only on day 2 of testing it, so. But so far, I'm really pretty amazed with it. But yeah, like I was saying, the plugin designer himself puts traditional sidechaining on there as well, so you can just blend the two to sort of get the least artifacts. And yeah, it definitely, using RM sidechaining as well, definitely, it makes it sound better. That's a simple way of putting it. It lets more of your signal through if you want it. Obviously, if you didn't want your signal to go through, you could just use traditional sidechaining forever. But many times I have a percussive mid bass that I want to occur when the kick occurs, and in that situation, normal sidechaining is kind of not the best solution because it ducks the volume, doesn't it? But with this, yeah, let some of the signal through. Yeah, some of it will work. The higher the frequency of the mid bass, the better it will sound with this. There's enough room in between these little peaks here to make it worthwhile. Yeah. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this free plugin. For the very specific task of it's sidechaining is the means to an end. What the thing that I'm trying to solve is making everything clear and loud. I'm not bothered about making things super loud, but I do try, but I don't want to go too far. I'm not bothered. If I'm at like -8, -9 loves, I'm not that bothered about going 6 and above. It's an interesting game to play to try and go above it, but you do kind of lose clarity the higher you go. But it's a never-ending thing of like controlling transients and little sounds everywhere. It's just like anyway. So yeah, what this is trying, why I am using this is because I want a kick and a bass. I want to hear them both at the same time without doubling, without adding 6 dB peaks above a bass, because when that happens, that goes into your limiter or your clipper, and it'll either distort your clipper on your master, or it will go into your limiter and duck everything down for a moment. And all these little things just make the overall mix and master lose clarity. So any little technique like this where you can squeeze and compromise balanced sounds without them multiplying and causing problems, then yeah, I'm into it. So yeah, it's day 2 of using this, and it's amazing. It's an amazing concept. Like, and I'm just like surprised that I've not tried this sooner. I had a repertoire. You know, I've been using normal sidechaining for so long. I've found ways of all the ways that are there that you can get the most out of it. Like, because you use a bit of a combination of EQing, you might use a bit of just EQing. So I've gotten really good at using that, but now I'm ready for like RM sidechaining. But even if you do, I would say the sooner you learn about RM sidechaining, the better, because I could have solved some mixes or been more satisfied with some mixes in the past if I'd learned about this sooner. Yeah, it's easy enough to get your head around. It's just looking at waveforms. Anyway, sorry I've missed some of you. I've not heard the new Skrill album. I want to. Yeah, is it a whole album again? Nice. Have you seen the fan VST? No, I did see a clip of that. Yeah, I did see. I wondered what the hell I was looking at, because I was like, I want a fan, a real life fan, where you can turn. Because it's usually only like 3 fucking buttons, and yeah, I wish I had a fan that you could turn down really slow, but no, doesn't exist, does it? Unless I modded one. But yeah, then I realised it was like, it was a silent. No, I had it on silent, the video as well. I was like, what's going on? I was like, it's VST, isn't it? Is it good? What does it do? Baraska's Johnny Hartman. Baraska is strong. You put me on it. I tried a session today. It's really strong. Oh, nice one, Johnny. No way. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the guy is I love his story in this video that he just made in his breakdown. Audio Hertz fan. Multi-modulator. For sure, never even heard of RM sidechain. Yeah. Yeah. Look at it, it just looks like a fan. Dry. Nice. Sometimes the user interface sometimes it just works, doesn't it, in your creative process, looking at a fan. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it looks like 1,000 times prettier than the Ableton's chorus, doesn't it? That could make all the difference, especially if like, everything's just grey, isn't it, in here? Creates a nice warmth of artifacts. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, creates nice warmth. Yeah, Braska sidechainer. Yeah, yeah. Those artifacts are just wild. There's one bit where it must be a problematic bit. I think it might be. Is it there? Or have I changed the settings so it doesn't happen anymore? No, I can't have done. There's a bit where the kick and the bass must just be a freaky overlay where the phases are just right, and you get these, it's like a little buzz in between the kick. It's not there anymore. If I'm struggling to hear it now, it must. That's how good it is. It's gone, but it's there. It's working. It's ducking, all the way down to 0 when the top of the wave of each kick is occurring. So yeah, you get these nice round kick sine waves, which preserves the sound of the kick. Less distortion. LFO tool is, that feels like outdated now. I do. When did I have used it recently? I've used it for years. I think Ableton's tools kind of do, or Duck Buddy actually is kind of overtaken what I would normally use envelope shaping for. But no, I have used LFO tool because I did. I know you can do it with the AutoPan. It's got a funny name, AutoPan, because you can do, like square wave chops and I did use LFO tool just to shape some strings, to get like a mad sort of staccato strings, but an audio staccato, not MIDI. So it is still useful, yeah, definitely. It's not out of date. What am I talking about? No one else is. There's probably many out there on the market. I mean, I could use. Yeah, there's many different ways in it. You could use a gate, a sidechain gate, but that's hassle when you can just whack an LFO tool and turn it off and on when you need to. Kilogram trick: splitting your track into multiband and only sidechain the bass elements. Interesting, because the reason why I did try, right, it might have been a bit extreme, but I did try. When you do sidechain, and after a while, the concept of why don't I just sidechain the bass? It's like an inevitable kind of path I think you go down. And so what happens is when you start doing multi-band anything, you start messing with the phase, because where the phases of the bands cross over, you get differences in phase. So unless you're using like a -6 dB really gentle, so I think even if you use a -6 dB, there's problems because then they don't cancel each other out, both bands. I think they have to be -12 or anyway, that's a whole massive other topic, but basically it changes the phase no matter what you do, unless you use linear phase one, but then you could introduce pre-ringing. So anyway, I did this. I made my own. I did a group, an Ableton group with, I think I just tried 2 to begin with, just so I had one for bass, one for everything above. And I used a Pro MB to, I duplicated the Pro MB so I could just have one side below the frequency turned on and mute, and the other side muted, and then on the other parallel group in an Ableton rack, the same Pro MB, but the low muted and the high soloed or whatever. And then after those, put my effects on, so you could just have the sub ducking whenever there's a kick. But the sound that makes is, I didn't like it. I think there's what I wanted. I want the whole frequency to compress, because to duck the whole frequency spectrum, because you've also got transients in the kick, which you need room for those as well. So I suppose you could have different processing. You could have loads of processing on the low end, and then on the high end just have a much shorter attack. But even that, right, sometimes you want a slow release from that transient so that your ear has time to sort of make up that there has been something loud there. If it snaps back too quick, the envelope, yeah, there's something about your brain's way of perceiving it, which has been something difficult to measure and understand on my own over time, and I'm still not sure. But this happened to me a few times. If you there's like a far sound in the distance, like a factory at night far in the distance, or a motorway, and then right next to your ear, it's quite a loud. You got like a bucket, and you hit the bucket, and it's like, doof. And if you listen carefully, the sound in the background goes really quiet and then comes back in. It's like your body's own compressor, and the speed it comes back in is that a good speed? So it's like that's like half a second, and it probably is got like a curve on it as well. It probably comes back fast and then slowly settles back to zero. So you could make that shape and time with a compressor or a sidechain curve. And my question has always been, is that the optimal speed to do it? Do you want to do it at the speed that your ear does it? To me, it kind of makes sense to do it like that, to do it at that speed. But then you can get some, sometimes you want a slow release in a compressor if you compress live drums to get that. Actually, no, that sound. I think the reason why that sounds cool with drums, where it's like squash, but there's like the air comes back after the kick and the set, and it's got this always moving. And I think that sounds cool because it's like you're hearing. It's like your ear is perceiving really loud drums, but without the fatigue of actually standing next to the drums. So you can sit in your lounge and relax and hear this nicely controlled volume drums, and it still sounds cool as if you were sat right next to it. Anyway, multi-band everything. So that's why I'm a bit. Yeah, I have tried like experiments. Definitely tried them yourself because it's the only way really to. If you hear it for yourself, then then you'll have a strong foundation in your beliefs. But yeah, no, I did try it, and it didn't do what I thought it would do. It didn't sound as good as I thought it would sound. The best technique that I've done is if you've got 5 bass sounds, there's your track. Right now you're in a position where you want the whole thing to sound clearer. Duplicate those 5 tracks. If they're all serum, it's dead easy. Duplicate them, and just turn them all into sine waves, so that every MIDI track is playing a sub sine wave. And with the original 5 tracks, group them and put a high pass. That tends to work if you haven't got like a whole octave of movement in your bass in your MIDI. But let's say everything's within an octave. Yeah, high pass them all, and so that your sub is now you've just got a totally separate sub. And with that group of subs, you can put your sidechain on it, put heavy sidechaining on that, put like infinite sidechaining on that whenever there's a kick, so that when you look at it on an oscilloscope, you see the kick, and then when your kick's finished, you see your sine wave, and when you mute the kick, you can see the silence. So that there's no other sounds apart from your kick and sine wave down below. That will just give you a really clean, really solid low end. And then, but I still do in the mid bass group. I would still have some side chaining on that as well, because obviously you've got the kick and the snare, the kick transient to deal with, and you still kind of want some audible pumping, just a little bit, to really subtle. It's almost imperceptible, like 3 dB sometimes I'm doing, or 6 dB is also barely audible when there's a kick or a snare. You can get away with ducking 6 dB and not really notice it. But even if you do notice and you don't want it to be noticed, just go to 3 dB and it's still there. It's still ducking, but no one's going to notice. It's like barely noticeable, and it just clears it up just this little tiny bit. The more I do this, the more I mix, the more I notice that sometimes small moves, you want to hear your moves, don't you? When you're mixing, you want to hear that you're making a difference, that your time is worthwhile in the moment. But no, like the more you dial it back, you can't necessarily hear it in the moment. You have to like do the setting and then go away and listen to it again. Yeah, anyway, sorry. I'm going well behind here now. My question, when you go to the shape, you mixed it too well, it's gone. My question is, when you go to the shape, the sidechain, what's your rules in your experience? If you had to choose, what would you say is the strongest sidechain process in your experience? So, I think I just said then about small moves sometimes. So here's my bass track, right, for this tune. I haven't actually separated the subs in this tune because it's one of the few tunes that I've done all in audio, and that makes separating the subs like a lot harder. I could just high pass a lot and just have a one note sub where it just goes for the whole track, but I don't usually do that, even though that is what some producers do, especially in D&B. The perception is the melodic mid bass. There's a melody there, and that's what people hear. They go din 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 din, but the sub is quite often just, I think on Mr. Happy it is just doom 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 doom. It just is one note underneath, and people don't perceive it. They feel it in the club, and they hear the mid bass, and that's the melody in their head. But the sub doesn't have to track it. Maybe it does go. Maybe the sub does move. I don't think it does. Should we quickly have a look? Mr. Happy. Nah, 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 nah. It's that thing that it's the anthem, innit? Oh yeah, it's got a big intro.
I'll take this.
We gotta see. Let's see. Okay, it does. It's mostly one note, but it goes. So there's only 2 notes. It's kind of what I'm talking about. That just makes controlling the bass a whole lot easier. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this tune. Yeah, so my bass track before using RM sidechain was, let's just mute these. You can see, so the kick was ducking by 23 dB with a 5 millisecond look ahead and 5 millisecond ramp, so that the bass doesn't click whenever there's a kick. And the snare stuck in by 32. Every tune is different. For some reason the snare worked better at -32, but I've actually turned this one off. So I've left the kick on, but turn off the snare duck buddy. So I'm not using volume sidechain in there. And then after that, in the group above it, I wouldn't normally do it like this either, but it's just the way this project's set up. The snare is doing 100% RM depth and 100% RM gain, so it's letting it's ducking as much signal as possible whenever the peak is at 0, and it's letting as much signal through as possible whenever the waveform is at infinite. So infinite as, minus infinity, 0 volume, and that's what that looks like. You can see this is the snare. That's what the snare looks like. Also, you can also do a MIDI input if you want to catch all those transients, and a pre-fade as well on Baraska. Yeah, it's great. Okay. Quick. If you had to choose one of the strongest sides. So yeah, I'm gonna say with my new process would be, I could get away with less volume sidechaining, and because I'm using a bit of RM sidechaining to taste with the smooth button, smooth knob. Yeah, a bit of both now. I think that's what I'm going to integrate. If it sounds good anyway, it's definitely going to buy me a bit of headroom. Yeah, LFO is still cool. LFO tool is still cool. Yeah. You're always a genius, still in criticism. Thanks. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. I always like to quote Einstein or something. Yeah, I can't think of the quote. It's something like if you persist with a problem long enough. Yeah, I think that's related to the word genius. Yeah. The goat, thanks. The multi-bank algo in Saturn 2, it works pretty well. Haven't had any phase issues. Okay. Yeah. See, the phase issues might not bother you. I think it's what you want to look for when you test it, because you should test it. I test it, right? My go-to for testing is Scyscope, because you can preview your kick. If we just go into the kicks here, and what I was about to say was, watch what your transient does when the bass occurs. So that's what my kick looks like, apparently. Why does it look that small? Shall I increase the... That's what my kick and snare look like. And shall I put on one of these basses, this bass here? And now see how the kick is unaffected by this. So that's just the kick, and now if I put the bass on, the kick barely moves, and that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to go for when I'm mixing, so that the levels of these peaks around the kick are controlled and don't start spiking up. If we turn off all these sidechainers, well, if we turn off the RM sidechainer, it shouldn't make much of a difference. It made a bit of a difference. But if we turn off my minus 23 dB duck body here, we should see this do wild things. It's not that much different, is it? That went up. It doesn't sound as clear, in my humble opinion. The kick, you can't hear this. The kick isn't breathing. Isn't making it breathe. If I mute the kick, there is a bit of slow attack on the bass anyway. That's probably why it's not massively making a difference. But so we'll turn back on. this kick Duck Buddy, and you can see it's shaped a bit. It's made it a bit quieter there. Turn the kick on again. Yeah. And turn the kick on. Sidechainer on here. This isn't a good example, clearly. This was always a tricky tune to mix, though. I had some innovations that worked last night when I mixed it. Just a fresh approach after not mixing it for like a few weeks. Okay, sorry. What do I need to do to watch you try and make an Afro house track? Afro house. You'd have to send me your three, not just your three favorite Afro house tracks, but one of your favorites maybe, and two that are like genre defining, like classics, but obviously you'd want them to be somewhat modern so that you can, be up to date with the genre. Because I could make 90s D&B all day. Well, not noughties D&B, and it's be dead distorted and quiet. So yeah, I mean, I've got to be in it. So whenever I tried to make some bassline, there was a big demand for me to make bassline, and I tried, and people said they loved it and they wanted, when's it coming out and stuff. But I was like, I felt like a fraud because I don't know how to make bassline. I took a guess and got lucky the second time. The first time sounded a bit shit. I think the third, I don't know if I did it even the third time, but I feel like I'd need to produce quite a few tracks first to have to build up some confidence to know what I'm doing. And I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to, because without that experience of making bassline, without making lots of it, I don't really know how to finish that one that does sound good, where there's some good ideas. I don't know, like, what I've got available to me, and of ways that I can finish it. To me, it doesn't sound as good as everything else that's out there, but I want to compare. I don't necessarily want to compare myself to everyone else. I want to compare me to all my own stuff. So the only way to solve that is to make all my own. Maybe if I made like 20 bassline tracks, I could my confidence would be a bit higher. So I'd have to do the same for Afro House. So yeah, have I got the time in between making D&B and dubstep? I don't know, or non-genre stuff. All good. Question: what is your best way to mono the sub bass? I would high pass all the mid basses, group all the mid basses, high pass it, and have a separate sine wave sub. It's the only way to be sure. It's the only way to be 100% sure. Also, when I start with a patch, in a synthesizer, I make sure that there's no chorus. If there is a chorus, that it's not interfering with the bass. So I try and snip the problem early on rather than solve, a stereo bass later on. It's definitely better like that. Well, I mean, I say that. Am I a successful producer? How many streams have we got on Spotify? No, it's just the way I prefer to work. But yeah, apart from that, see if you got a chorus on a bass sound, it's So here's how I solve this problem in this scenario, right? You've made a full track, and you've got a bass on your chorus sound, but your track is finished, and you want to mix it the best you can right now. You don't want to go back into any back at all. Yeah, it's like if you gave the project to me and it was just like, right, can you mix this please? I'll be like, right. I would go about solving it. I would literally, if you wanted that sub to come through, if I want that sub to come through as your mix engineer, right? I would just high pass all the bass. I'd give it a go anyway. Above anything above kind of like 200 hertz, 24 dB octaves slope, and I put my own sub in that tracks the pitch, even if I have to do it by ear manually. Maybe use a spectrograph to match the frequency below if I didn't know what it was tuned to. And even it doesn't have to fully track it. You want it to be in tune, but if there's any pitch bendy stuff, you could get away with not doing any pitch bend. But I'd do that and have a totally separate sub, and that way you can have a very clean bottom end. It's a great way of solving it. It's a great way of solving the mono bass. Oh yeah, because if you've got chorus, and if you sum the left and right into one channel when you've got chorus on it, like you can in Ableton, like you could use Ableton's utility, which might work in most cases, you might get some subtraction of the bass where one up wave is added to one down wave and they cancel out and they go silent. You don't really want that with your bass. It will just sound flabby and it'll lose power. So it's a quick and easy way using utility, isn't it? Like you just go whack it on and just whack mono on, or no, bass mono there. So, Ableton knows that everyone wants a quick and easy way to fix it, but it can cause problems. Phase cancellation, that's the one. Thank you, Linus. Dutchy tune, bro, thanks. Wait, where am I? Goated Blaze. I'll do a simple 150 split just before the master minimizes phase issues. Yeah. Maximizes fun, which is kind of what you want sometimes, definitely. I mean, there's my mono speaker USB radio, which has Bluetooth in it. I sometimes send mixes to it, and there was one tune I was working on. I had no idea the phase was flipped on one of the channels of this laser sound effect. I'm like, this tune's missing something. I was playing back. Turns out, yeah, the laser, when you put it in your earphones, it sounds all right. But when you put it through it goes no sound at all. And so, yeah, I just flipped one of the phases and now it plays. That's how drastic for it. So there are some speakers out there where your sound will go completely silent. But I think most sound systems are probably doing it in, I don't know, in club sound systems where there's two speakers. But the club we played in, one of the clubs we played in Wrexham, a bar, only had one. I'm not sure if I think it might have been two, a stereo signal going to one bass box. So you don't know what's happening there. It could be some in it. And if it is, you're going to get phase cancellation. Message you a few tracks. I'd love to hear them, yeah. Genre defining sounds just can be inspiring. How do you get Ableton on TikTok? With OBS and TikTok Live Studio. I don't think you need OBS. I do it because I'm going to YouTube as well. You DJing Small Fry Steven? You DJing at mansion? At a mansion tomorrow? Whereabouts? Dotty Tune, thank you. Let's hear it. Oh, it's in sort of stereo mono mode. So oh, that's something else I did as well. So fucking hell, right? I didn't want to use a clipper if I didn't have to, and I've managed to get all my peaks going into L2 at minimal, like making the L2 work as little as possible. Because before I was getting like 5-6 dB fucking spikes whenever there was a kick and snare. I've tidied up my kick and snare. I've put turned off all the distortion on the kick and snare. That was like ruining the sound of it and making it sound too harsh. And then I wanted to try taking a few more dB decibels. So clipping, right? I've only ever used hard clipping, really, pretty much. But there's this type of clipping called curve, called hyperbolic tan, and if you don't put too much signal into it, it only introduces one harmonic after, like, if you put a sine wave in it at 100 hertz, it will introduce one harmonic. It won't release it. It won't put in like loads of the harmonics that pretty much every other distortion does. So I tried it, and I'm getting about how many dB? It's only 1.5 decibels, right? That I'm clipping it, but it's just helping a bit, and it still sounds clear, and it sounds a bit louder. So wait, let's. There's too many messages. Utility's good. Put one of your afros. Yes. Yeah, put one of yours in. I didn't know you made Afro House, Miles. But yeah, on my what's it? On the Terrapastel, it's like hours in it. Discord, which is, there's a link in my bio if you can't get on it. Where is it? Is it actually turned on? Discord. Sometimes I go blind. I cannot see. There it is. It's probably loaded already. No, it wasn't. It wasn't loaded. Okay. Yeah, chuck it on there, Miles. Most club systems are mono. Yeah, that's what I heard, but then I saw something contrary to that. Nordeus. I can't remember what it was. Some clubs aren't. Clamps doing mixed sounds, and he would check his phase by looking at the wave itself. Yes, that's it. Oh, so that's why I have Syscope to test stuff, because you can do all this theory stuff. You can put your side chain and have your bass duck with your kick, but is it actually doing what you're expecting it to do? And the only way to do that is test it. So that's science, isn't it? Treat it like a science, mixing, engineering, measure it, measure everything. Check it's actually giving you your transient that you want it to. Max, how you doing? The clamps doing mixed tones. I need to check by looking at the wave. Right, the clamps. Wish I knew who the clamps were. Just started a song for tomorrow. Could get some advice then before I start the mix down. Best place is on my Discord. If you chuck it in feedback and ask for feedback, well, if you put stuff in the feedback channel, that means you want feedback. It's always good to work on the mix while producing, rather than all at the end. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I do separate. I make a hard separation. When I start a track, the splurge, where I'm just getting raw ideas down, that is not the time to mix. That is the time to choose sounds that you know, that is your opportunity to get the sounds right at the start. But obviously you don't want to spend forever choosing sounds, because then you won't make as much music in your life. So you still got to be quick, and some of your sound choices might not be that great, and you might have problems with fixing a mix later on. But what you don't want to be doing is mixing or editing. You just want to throw stuff down in that first session, and then in the sessions after that, yeah, I do tweak it. You know, you start tweaking levels a little bit, and maybe doing just some essential EQing, like just getting rid of because mostly level fixes stuff, level and sound choice over EQing before any EQing. Nice, Miles. Yeah. Yeah. So if you chuck it in feedback, Joe, I might be able to, either one of us can play it, give you some feedback, or all of us, or you just message me on TikTok. Okay. Try to make a bit of everything. I've got a track I'm working on at the moment, fella, but different to usual. Got some orchestral sounds. Nice, Max. What he sent me the stems for. It's sounding like I've done some mad dubstep thing with it, right? And it's I keep hearing the melody in my head, and I can't listen to it. It's still ringing in my head too much to work on it again. I need a bit more time away from it, but I think I'm going to end up sending that to you pretty soon. Some good, mostly bad. Hello, Salim. Tell me soft. That was meant to say before. Gig tomorrow. The Clamps is one half Burt Oak, the Neurofunk duo. Okay, all right. It sounds like a band. Actually, Neurofunk could be a genre. That's not what I think it is. Neuro just makes me think of D&B. Linus, mixing as I produce, but I've got the bass for the song down now. I'm mixing as I go, not the bass. The first ideas for it. Yeah, mixing as you go. So you won't know. That's kind of why mixing is best. It's kind of like you are wasting your time mixing before getting to the end, because if you're adding new sounds in there, or it changes the listener's perception. If you've got new sounds layering over your existing ones that you've already mixed, if you already mixed your bass, keys and drums and hi-hats and it sounded good, and then you put another sound over the top, it can change the way everything is perceived over time. So even though I do it myself, it can I don't know how much time I actually waste doing that. It's just an idea, isn't it? Like that, because you still want to turn levels. That is still mixing. That is literally mixing, just changing the levels of stuff. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If your bass is ridiculously too loud and you turn it down, you know, that's definitely what you can mix as you go. Maybe that's what you mean. Tweakster. Oh yeah, I don't know what you are called Tweakster. It just says stock, also known as Tweaks, but yeah, Tweakster. Tweaking it up. Not on drugs though. I can't do anything on drugs. Linus, thanks for following. Finally, basically finished track a 140 track, George. Any tips for an intro? Suspense. Just think of the drop is the release, and the intro is the suspense, building suspense. So many dubstep tracks though, like deep dubstep, they just have like the sound of a subway train and in the distance, and just like one airy note on a synth. That's how I think of it in my head, and it's never that. It's always something else that I can't quite put my finger on. But yeah, what would you do to build suspense? You could just have a giant drum roll that gets faster and faster and faster, and then stops for just a little bit of silence, and then drops. That's how a lot of people build suspense. Sometimes, you know. Yeah, intros. That's one thing you got to practice. It's like you've practiced. You drop the best bit, the fun bit, making the beats and the bass, making the drop. You might have done that a million times. You might be really good at it. But then when you try and finish a tune, where you obviously need an intro to that, and if you've only practiced that 10 times, it's gonna sound shit. Right, no, it's not necessarily gonna sound shit. Sometimes simple stuff fucking works brilliantly, but it's one thing that I had to do, and it was like a sore thing to do. I was like, shit, like now I have to write an intro. But I'm trying to make it as fun. It should be as fun, because it's the bit, it's where you realize that maybe your role as a music person, producer, is actually like an entertainer and a magician and a trickster, and these are things I never thought I would be or want to be, or yeah. So, but yeah, you just think of any show. Every show doesn't just go with the best bit straight away. It goes with this big, yeah, you see like drawing people in with little things and building up to something. No one knows people know something's going to happen, but they don't really know what. Yeah, they don't. They know if it's a magic show, someone's getting chopped in half with the saw. The woman's got in. Someone's saw, and you're like, what the fuck? Why isn't she screaming in pain? I don't know if you'd ask that in an intro of a tune, but eventually it comes apart, and you're like, oh my god, she must be in 2 parts. That could be your drop. How that translates metaphorically into like what synth patch you use. that's the difficult bit. How do you build suspense? Maybe ask how, or copy. Just why invent the wheel? There's only so many sonic ways of actually doing an intro for a song. You could copy any one of the ways that's gone before, and you would still sound unique, because you can't get it sounding exactly how someone else has done anyway. But yeah, there's quite a lot of D&B tunes from the noughties where you'd start with a drum break and just like a single string note, and a few little like lo-fi distant samples coming in and out, like occasionally, not in your face, just like mysterious, distant, murky kind of sounds, while there's this drum break, and then the drop comes in. You don't even need a drum roll. It's the bass is the drop, but what came before it was it's still tension. You know, there's tension there, and then there's release when the first bass note hits. So there's loads of different ways of doing it. I don't know how to condense that down into a single tip. Just try and make loads of different ones. Try it, save it, bounce it, then try a different one. Get quick at doing it. The quicker you are doing it, the less you'll be attached to a single one that you think might be good, and instead you'll create more that are actually good. Sending the new demo to Discord, nice one. Would love some feedback to see my reaction if you're checking stuff out on stream. I might do that in a minute. Robin's gonna sing it on it. Ah, nice. Cheeky Chris Eubank vocal for the drop. No way. That sounds like a great idea. Because he's a smart guy. But he's got like that voice, hasn't he? Watch that dark breathing noises, yeah. Yeah. That dubstep tune, like this tune, I was forcing myself to use more vocal samples, so I got this vocal sound. And tuned it with auto shift. Huh. That's how I did that. Yeah, and then just the drums come in, and there's that organ sound. But not all my intros are like that. I was really happy with that vote. I hit on a really cool vocal thing there. Effects and call it a day. Yeah, fuck it. Do you know what? Another one to do is go onto YouTube and look up how to create like ambient drones, and there's like you can kind of like just play one note into a massive string of Ableton devices, like resonators. I'm sure someone did like, was it like 20 or 30 hybrid reverbs, and he just put one sound into it, and it just made this like big wide thing, and like that was moving as well, because you want maybe a bit of movement in there, not just bzzz, you want like, and then sampled it, and I thought, and I tried it, and that became like one of my sounds in one of my intros. So yeah, I think this baby's crying. I might have to go upstairs in a sec. But yeah, effects and call it a day is actually one solution to it, definitely, George. And imagine dark breathing noises, but through resonators, and then put massive reverbs on it. That'll do it. Right, I've got to go. I might be back. I'm hopefully be back in less than 5 minutes. Once Evening, I am back. Ghetto Tech by Soul. Okay, gonna have to set up Discords when you wake up properly. Also, this generation, the Whittler. Which one? I was tripping. There's no moon out tonight. I thought I saw a light. This generation. That'll do. That's them whales and dolphins. I wish I had a timestamp on it because I have no idea what you refer to. Just got the Tweakster. I'm back. Joe, send that tune into feedback. It's on SoundCloud? Oh, okay. Okay. This generation. Okay. But for a rig tomorrow night, no way. Okay. High pitched sounds in your intro is other whale and dolphins. Oh yeah, so this the one it starts with this one. Serum with some. It's not just serum that. It's EXP filter table, which is a magic thing. Go into that another time. Oh, they've changed it. I updated it the other day. But anyway, let's go listen to some music. High pitch. Because, yeah. Anyway, right. I just forgot how I made that song. Let's start from here and then go into what's it called? Discord in a sec. Okay. I need this tune. That's a cheeky wobble. Yeah. I'd be going nuts. I would be going nuts to that if that was on in the right time and place. Sick. That's very good. Ghetto Tech Soul, sorry, Ghetto Tech. And then you sent in all the drums. Yeah. Right. So Scott Uh-huh. Nice. It is a mystery. How's some producer get it sounding so clean? Nice. Nice though, yeah. Another one to put in your record box for sure. I only heard good things about Duplock, the label. Yeah, nice suggestion there. Right, let's go into 4th of April. Here we are. Miles, some Afro House. Oh, I missed Pactors. This is nice. This is an Afro house. Is it? It's not what I thought. Oh, okay. No whoops, no. I didn't expect whoops. That's really chill. Is this yours? Is this yours, Miles? It says Miles there, look. This is great. Is that your voice? Have you ever thought about putting your voice in? I get asked that sometimes. All the sounds. Definitely get like a really nice natural world, nature, chill vibe of it. It's good. Nice little ride roll, ride fill. Right there, I'd do drum solo. Just the drums. I know, just the drums and the bird sounds in the background. That's just what I would do. And that would like break it up a bit. And then you could bring them back in here or bring them back here. There. But I don't know the genre, so I don't know what the rules. Oh no, does that mean you can't go back into the project and load up the same thing? What bass was it? Is it like a real bass kind of VST? Right, yeah, that was great. That Concrete by Miles. Trillion. That sounds like one of those bass synthesizers. Wobbly as fuck.
Killers from Brixton, man out of West, East, man out of North in ya. Tell me what going in ya. Big 4-5 in a pan in ya. Yo, tell me what going in ya. Big 4-5 in a pan in ya. Killers from Brixton, man out of West, East, man out of North in ya. Tell me what going in ya. Big 4-5 in a pan in ya.
Oh shit, he's on now. No, he was on earlier on. I don't know if Bex is still in the chat, but...
Yo, tell me what going in ya. Big 4-5 in a pan in ya. Killers from Brixton, man out of West, East, man out of North.
That's why it's wobbly as fuck. I haven't heard Pex's show live because I don't think there's a listen back. And it's always at an awkward time for me to listen, but yeah, serious vocal. So next is Sixter, who is that one who in the chat. Reason 5. Nice. Oh yeah. Same image. It's the same image. All the way down. How far down does it fucking go? Oh my god. It just keeps going. I wanted to see a screenshot. I like this. What I'm listening to though. It's good. Those strings are pulling me in. Nice drum solo thing. Oh, no, the strings have gone. And it's drums and bass and sounds. Spectrosonics. Is it Contact? Nice, it's like a chilled Border Canada thing going on here. I like it. That's, yeah, lovely that. Yeah, drums work well. What's poly D? Like these poly strings? But you've got, do you have a poly D? I would like just one analog synth. That's brilliant. Love that. Yeah. That's giving me Bach vibes. And Bach, I think Bach drums are as hard as any genre drums. Like, there's something about the just gentle Bach drum, Billboard's kind of the drums that they have. I mean, I think a lot of them are sampled, aren't they? But or from other tunes. But they're hard to do. As hard as like D&B drums, I reckon. D&B's like, oh, I'm not going to get into D&B. We're not listening to D&B right now. Checking this out tomorrow. Johnny. He's going to listen tomorrow, right? So yeah, Max, brilliant. Yeah. you're all like, yeah, really talented, and I've got some really good tunes to send in here. These are great. Love them. Oh, so Seg is for tomorrow's gig. Thanks for saying that, because that reminds me of who you are. Everyone's got a different name on fucking Discord. I do remember eventually. Deserve. Hello. How are you doing? At this moment I am, yeah. If you want to send something in. Oh, that reminds me. Who sent me a track on TikTok? Who was it? Oh, Joe, it was you, Joe. Brilliant, that. Great production on that. Love it. It's yeah, that's you, Joe. JSAG. Nice name. But tomorrow's gig, where are you playing? Did I miss where you said you were playing for a few weeks? Been on the Speed Garage. If you didn't put garage at the end of there, I would have been like, been like, oh right, as well. Yeah, no, that's wicked. That's wicked. Yeah, everything sounds clear. Like, you've got like nice snare there. It all sits well. The bass is underneath, sitting there nicely. You've got like a melody that's sort of following the bass as well. Ride cymbals. The ride cymbals I've gone wrong so many times and put too much high end in them. You'd think a ride is all about the high end, but it's more about the sort of the softer kind of mids. Yeah, brilliant. It's like a phone. Sounds hard. Yeah, good job. Good job on that one. JSEG. Joe. Just carries the rhythm around, yeah, good way of putting it. Got a dong track. Little Warehouse. Is this Little Warehouse in Liverpool? That sounds like a dream. Big sound, Little Warehouse, big sound system. Free entry through a window. Didn't know that. Anyway, I just used to focus on the highs, right? Yeah, so I used to focus on that, yeah, and I wondered why there was so much harshness in the high end for ages. So I got rid of the very airy harshness, and then there was now harshness in like around 8K, which is a whole other area to solve problems. Really, in my car, when I put stuff in my car, like a shit car stereo, and turn it up just a bit, 8K, around 8K, maybe 6K as well. It's good tunes sound okay, but my tunes all sound and it's like this thing that's bugging me at the moment. I think I'm nearly there. I think I've nearly worked out how to solve it in most cases on most tracks. You know, you could just turn everything down, can't you? Just on the master bus, just turn everything down to 8K, job done. But then you lose some of the energy, don't you? Thanks, Scott. These are great tracks he's sending in. What's this one here? Yeah, hope that goes well. In Liverpool tomorrow. Yeah. What time are you on? So this is Max, isn't it?
Where are you?
Black battery.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die. Ring match, yeah?
Mix sound. Oh, okay. I've heard the mix sound.
Where in that? You just run a video cat. What's wrong with that?
Nice. Can't be asked.
Yes, bro, cartel.
I like this. I can't put it in a genre. It's a rave tune to me. That sub there right now is good. Back in again. Yeah, it's really cool. Bass variation. Okay, let's load this way. What's going on? There's something going on in the sub, in the low end. You want the mix advice, and you can see it here. I love the vibe of the track. Everything's great about it. Where were we? Here. Is it going to buffer?
Yes, bro, cartel.
So, it's crashing. Let's just hear that kick soloed. That kick is
You
quite
just run a
big.
video cat. What's wrong with that?
I think your kick tail needs shortening.
Yes,
That's
bro,
a
cartel.
Yeah, even though I know the thing about kicks, you could get away with it in hip hop in the 90s and the 80s, where that kick there was like the length of the beat. It was like a whole beat, which is a quarter, isn't it? A quarter note. I just get confused. a quaver in it, so it's a quarter of a bar. It's very long for dance music. It sounds wicked though. That's the thing. You kind of want to keep the, but because you've got another bass going on, one of them has to go, or there's got to be some compromise. Oh, come back. Right, talk about this. So this is going to sound like mud. I know what mud looks like now. Well, not necessarily that, but where there's some strange thing going on with your bass there. It's like it's got this harmonic below it all the way. Whenever the bass is playing, it's got this something else playing there. Maybe have you used by any chance? Have you used a plugin that enhances the bass? Like I think Ableton has its own bass kicker thing, and I don't use it because I like to have more control. I had to add my own harmonics in kind of manually, so I've got more control over them. But it depends what kind of music you're making. You'd want to do that with D&B, I reckon. But where is it? Drum bus. It's drum bus, isn't it? Where it adds, see frequency down here. If you turn boom up, it adds a 50 hertz, and it definitely makes it sound like there's more going on in the low end where there wasn't before. But unless it's tuned properly, I don't know what to do about this. It might even be, it's actually an octave, look, 80 and 40, so it's not like that will sound good. You know, those will harmonize together because they're exactly twice the speed. This frequency is twice the speed, so that'll be harmonious. And maybe I'm wrong, because the instant vibe I got from the track is that's cool. It will be its own thing on a big sound system. It's one of those things where it might work and it might not. Do you know what I mean? Some tunes don't work and the way I like to increase my chances of success is by having this. So I'm suggesting things that are like going to be they're going to make there be not as many frequencies in this area between 130. But that might take away from the vibe of the track, and it still might not work. So I don't really know. But your kick definitely is interfering with the bass. The tail of the kick, not the punch here. Let's have a look. Play a bit more. And it's difficult there's like this rumble as well. So when it did those higher bass notes, then I could hear like around where the kick was. I don't know where that's coming from. Jade, yeah. Ham. What does ham mean? But yes, and yeah, I would. This is the thing without actually ham. Mad. No way. Nice. Never heard that. It does sound very analog, yeah. Just gonna have to test it, yeah. I think the vibe of it. So this is it. This is what, right. So when I've been to an old school hardcore night, or you know, a D&D event, and there's like an old school room. No wait, the one that I went to was, yeah, it was an old school room, and the old school room was pretty packed. And they're going through loads of classic stuff and some even, you know, less popular classic stuff from the 90s. And some of the mixes on them are a bit, you know, basic and, you know, not up to 2020 standards at all, because there's all different equipment. But it was about the vibe of the track, and obviously those tunes that rose to the top that were in that DJ's bag on that night, even the more underground ones, have been tried and tested and have, you know, the mix isn't so terrible that it would sound that people would get off the dance floor. There's probably plenty of elements in there to dance to, and I think that's what you've got with that track. So if you were to put it through my process, it might sound too clean. I don't know. You'd have to send it over. But like, it is time consuming. What I do, I think the first thing I would see if I could do a short job on it, and just like, yeah, just do that thing with the high pass in the bass and the sub. But then you know, you're missing those harmonics out. Oh wait, one other thing about it. The lowest note. Yeah, there's that thunder there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. That sounds great. That's going all the way down. It's going all the way down to 35, right? Anyway, if I make session, yeah, enough, yeah. Yeah, can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear the new version. And the worst thing, I mean, it'd be funny if the original sounds better after you make session. That happens to me a lot. Right, Jage. Yeah, you can't post links in there, unfortunately. You can post them in Discord. If you're on the Discord, the link is in my bio. If you want feedback. How did you get on No Trouble Collective? Is that what you think, Niles, of Max's track? You reckon it's ducking too much? Yeah, no, I could literally do this all night until my eyes give in. But it's nearly 2 a.m. and that means I've got to go soon. But yeah, get your head down, mate. Thanks for sending tunes. Did you send tunes in? No, Joe did. You did as well, Scott, didn't you? Oh my god, I can't remember. Tweakster. No probs. Oh, you know the guy who runs it. No, he didn't send out. Yeah. No props, Scott. Take it easy. Can we keep the old sound, but I don't want it to crisp because I love the old sound. Nice, interesting track. Thanks for sending. Don't know what to say about it. Sound. It's quite distorted overall, kind of. And I assume the drop. There's a drop. There's a drop. It's kind of dropped there as well. It's hard to like judge it because it's not like a normal D&B tune. It's more like, well, it's like a half-speed one where it's kind of like a hip-hop tune, innit? Put into a bit of a D&B format. I think the chorus, I can hear chorus on the bass. Like I would have a stronger sub there personally, but I don't know if you were looking for feedback. I'm just giving you feedback because we are doing a bit of feedback. Yeah, like a little synthy sound in the background. It's kind of a bit drowned out by the bass, but I know how hard it is to balance these things. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to get the scope out again. It's not a scope, it's a gram. Just look at. Okay, that's interesting. They look like quite. Might see, this is where my ears play tricks on me. Without a sub, without turning the subwoofer on in this room. I have to use my ears, my headphones, and this scope, spectrogram, and it shows me that you have plenty of nice sub frequencies here. Possibly too much within below 100. You've got 3 fundamentals going on here, which can sound like there's a bit too much going on sometimes, but yeah, that looks clean, that bit. Weirdly, that section has these harmonics here. When there's sub beats down, they just appear. So yeah, interesting. This is Vision 4X. The guys behind Noisia created their own spectrograph, and just for good measure they've thrown in a stereo, I forgot what the fuck that's called, a stereo coherence meter, and a waveform which appears there. Top plug-in, especially if you make D&B and you can't have your subwoofer on all day and night. you need to see what's sometimes just to confirm what's going on in the low end. It's very useful. In fact, even if I did have a really big treated room with a subwoofer that could do flat all the way down to like 30 hertz, I would still use this, just like noise you do. Because sometimes your ears play tricks on you. And one thing this is best for is the low frequency content. High frequency content, you can't really tell much. Sometimes you can hear a 3 dB boost on the high mids, but you can't see it much on here. And sometimes 3 dB really makes a difference when you're EQing stuff or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely most useful for the low end. So sorry if I've not played your track yet. So thanks for sending that in, Jage. I've followed you back on there as well. I beg you to send me that wobbly track. Is Pex on now? He's on. How did the show go tonight, Pex? You're being asked for the your wobbly track. Jamsla. What's occurring? We are all occurring, I think. We all definitely fully occurring. I'm maybe only 80% occurring. No, I'm 100% in occurring in this moment. But I am looking at the clock, thinking of the future, because in 10 minutes I should be in bed. But what I'm going to do is in 10 minutes we're going to stop the live stream, and then it'll take me a bit longer to get into bed. Hold on. You're reacting to music, Robionics. I should say I have to get through these, and then I've got to go to bed. So Max, also known as that one ho, also known as Six Star. I've got these two last ones to listen to tonight. That's got an old school vibe. Yes, yeah, you can use it as a standalone, which is really good if you route your output back into your inputs of your sound card. But I also run it as a VST. Wrexham. Play the SoundCloud. Okay. That's mad sound. Sounds solid. You make some really cool music, Max. It's lots going on, lots of mad things happen. Funny things, funny little moments. It's good. Never heard anything like it. It's great. How are people sending music? Okay, Jamsla. the link to my Discord is in my bio. What you can do is when you're on the server is just post it to feedback. If you want feedback, post it to feedback. Tonight just happened to be one of those nights where I wanted to listen to everyone's music. It doesn't happen very often. It's nice. It's sort of kind of starting to happen once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. Where I really get stuck in every 2 weeks if I've not listened to any for a bit. Because also after 2 weeks, all the producers who are on here kind of like have made more stuff, so they'll send. They've got stuff ready to send and stuff. So yeah, definitely. I might be starting to get into a rhythm here with this live stream, with like when to do stuff, how often to do stuff. Thanks for following. This moment it's done. Just needs an intro. Can't wait, Pex. You were sounding sick. Nice one, Jams there. Right, so you're saying. What are you saying? Oh gosh. I can play the one from Seg. I can play the one from SoundCloud 6 months ago. No genre. What could this be? Can't tell at the moment. No idea. Could be D&B. It's got like a bit of a D&B bass. Right. I don't know what to expect here. Before I go, have I missed anything? Have I missed a tune out that I should have listened to? Aha. Because someone sent me, who was it? Yeah, dirty. Yeah. It was Johnny Hartman, actually. He's gone. He sent me some TikTok messages. Is he gone? Next time. Yeah. I mean, if you can get it in the next 5 minutes, you can get lucky. Get lucky, mate. Yes, Joe. This is lovely. Nice structure. Yeah. Nice little pause for reflection. Gather you bits and bobs together that you dropped on the floor when you danced. It's nice and clean. Yeah, the sounds go well together. They sit well together. And there's like mystery and intrigue. High pass there. Yeah, that's cool. That good placement of the note as well. That fucking dirty 4-chord note that's going on there. One for the DJs, because you sometimes as a DJ need that tune where you just want it to sound like it's like this grimy walls. Trying to put visual on it. Nice, yeah, nice, because you don't really hear guitar like sort of that's like nice guitar sound, slidey guitar sound. Don't normally hear that. It works really well. Yeah, very good. Nice punchy kick. Sounds like about 100 hertz. Like sits above the sub. Let's have a look, shall we? seen that. And you got a side chain there. You see the side chain making the bass disappear when the kick goes. Very good. But yeah, without looking at that, good. You gotta use your ears first. Does it sound good? And it does sound good. Top. Very good. Did you get lucky? Did you check out the other 2 tracks that you sent the other day? I believe I did. Oh yeah, wait, I did. They were a bit awkward to play, weren't they? Because one's 2 files and we transfer, and I've put them somewhere. Where did I put them? In music, probably. Is it in here? No. Oh, where did I put it? Max. No. Oh yeah, did I play it from here? Maybe I did. This is one of them. The Speed Garage one. Quickly, what was it called? Oh, okay. This is another one of Max's. That one home. It's playing in media player. Sounds solid. It's a crazy rumble. It's gone now. See it there. Look at that. Got high pass. 12 dB per octave high pass, but 30 hertz on your master to sort of tame that rumble. There's other ways of sorting it out. Nice, yeah, I did hear that the other day, and there's the other one as well. But let's listen to, I like that, by the way, as well. You send some West tunes, Max. These are like, they're all very, very different and unique tunes. Disgrace Dub, Joe. So on the scope, on the thing. So this is why you need this plugin, because I know what my own stuff looks like, but I have to see what commercial tunes I like on it, so you can get an idea of what's going on, you know.
Me put on me fatigue and me get militant. If you know wanted, then keep your distant. Cause we would chop shop man in an instant. Nothing ever come out of me place. Rap we do it, no bother looking at me face. Watch no word, watch no face. Ragga twins in a the place, and the people listen is not disgrace. Disgrace. Run out of the dance like a command team.
put on me fatigue and me get militant. If you know want it, then keep your distant. Cause we would
What
chop
type of
shop
bass
man
looks like
in
that
an
though?
instant. None ever come out of me place. Ramp we doing a bother looking at me face. Watch
Yeah,
the
send it,
word.
you might get
Watch
it.
the
Yeah,
face, rock a
but you won't
drinks
be
in
quick.
the place and the people is a me not disgrace. Me a bad boy, enough girl in a me camp. You know when them made us, dim the lamp. The way we get nasty food a call we trap. When me done with them need a revamp. Hey, some boy, you are not sick disease. Get
Not really
your
follow
man one, we will kill your man street. No bother wait till things go get big. We will left your jump and sound disease.
Yeah, that's really cool. That I can't really fault the mix. I'd like the low end looks like it's doing the job. You've sidechained your bass by the looks of it, and that's getting out of the way. It sounds all right. It doesn't sound like.
Nasty food a call we trap. When me done with them need a revamp. Hey, some boy, you are not sick.
Have you got Oh, see, I don't know what I would do to improve it. I don't think I'd need to listen to some other speed garage. It sounds because you've got your drums, your bass, you've got the vocal, and then you've got the piano thing. Yeah, it sounds alright. It's its own thing. It's like got its own vibe. I don't know if you could. Probably wouldn't make much difference, but you know, on the scope, it looks like that is doing the job. Your bass is disappearing, your kick's coming in all the way down, and then going back into your sub again. I don't know if they overlap at all, because that's a hard thing to get right about sidechaining. Is you don't really want any overlap of kick and bass at the start or end, but if you're going for that kind of controlled low end thing. But yeah, no, apart from that, it's great. No way, you're still on here, Johnny. Yeah, you sent me those tracks. I've not listened to them yet, but I'm about to go. But Jamslet has just sent a tune that I said you could get through, and again, another TikToker with a totally different name. So wait, Disgraced. What did I just listen to? Disgraced Dub. Yeah, so that was the Speed Garage one from Joe. I'm glad. All right, good. Thanks, Joe. Glad you learned something. Yeah, nice tune, that Speed Garage one. I am going to bed. I am gonna do one last thing, which is listen to this Max Seldom Jamsler. I've no idea what this is going to be. I only listened on my right ear, so that was weird then, because it sounded like that voice went that way out of the room. This is nice. Plinky plonky sounds. Actually, plinky plonky means something else if you look it up. I mean it in a sound way, not in a yeah. Plinky. If you look up plinky plonky, it means something totally different. I like glitchy laser sounds and stuff. Yeah.
What would life be if
Like this little pause moment. It feels like it's building to something without an obvious build. You know? Nice. release date. It's released.
Do you remember your dream?
Unreleased. Where was the Do You Marry Your Dream sample? That's nice.
Do you remember your dream?
Do you remember your dream, not marry? Or that like rim shot stick sound. Keep thinking I'm hearing a baby waking up.
Do you remember your dream?
Yeah, that's wicked. Top. I'm just looking out of interest at the spectrum. It sounds really controlled.
Do you remember your dream?
Reminds me a bit of Mouse and Mars. Just a little bit. They were mad on the like little sounds everywhere. Have you? Yeah, send them all, mate. Lovely. That was a treat for the ears. Lovely. Yeah. It sounds like, didn't that take you ages to make? Because I don't know where or how I would try and make that kind of thing. I don't know where it's. If you're a sound designer by trade, it did take ages to make. Good. Because I couldn't think of a quick way. Because even if you used a like a sound generator, or just a sample triggerer to do it somewhat randomly or whatever, you'd still need to have the sounds. You still need to like pick the sounds to go in it and make them and sample them. And chopping, yeah, lots of chopping. So I'll just chop, cut and chopped. Nice. Are you using analog stuff in there like to generate sounds? Or is there much digital stuff off the grid? Just where it feels good. Right. But yeah, that kick and whatever's going on with the kick and bass, that sort of like, it sounds really tight. It sounds really good. And then the beats are kind of coming in, not when you think they would as well. Yeah, so lots of really good stuff in there. Check your DMs. Sending you some stuff off your film you're working on. You're working on a film as well. Or production -1. What do you mean? Yeah, that's really cool, that one. Great. Max Selden. It feels like you've had a lot of, like, this is a reasonably quiet. There's nothing here. Why does it say there's nothing? Oh, okay. It's a private track. But but I feel like you should have more than 2 followers. Yeah. Is it this one? Oh shit! Right, I've got to go. Yeah. So check your DMs. I'll listen to this quickly now, and then I've got to go to bed. So any more after this tune, I'll have to listen to another. I'll have to get back to you. Right.
Yes, bro, cartel.
I'm not going to play the full 24 minutes. I just realised how long it is. So, you did all the music for a film. So one track that's a dubplate. And are they DMs on where? Which DMs? Oh, in I imagine Instagram. Okay. Right, nice one. I'll thank you. I'll give those a listen. Probably tomorrow at some point, but right now I have to go. Yeah, that was amazing. There was some like really amazing stuff I got sent tonight from all of you. There's only a few of you left on now, but wow, yeah, what an experience. Hearing all that stuff, that's yeah, it's nice music listening session. I feel chilled. I feel good about the world. No probs. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you come up with for that mix, because I would just do my own thing on it, but you might come up with something different and that works better, or the original might be the best. It might be unbeatable how it is. Have you tried blasting it in the car yet? Probably work well in my car actually, because the high mids in that tune sound like nice. They sound quite nice and soft, like they would work well. No problem, Jamslayer. Nice for sending. Thanks for sending it. That was really good. Very good. Alright, I'll listen to that as well. That mix. Yeah. It won't have the same. No, because no, it will sound totally different. Well, it will sound different anyway. But the thing about that tune, though, is the vibe. It's the vibe of that right rave sound. Yeah, that's the thing. Tell me about it. I mean, like, there's tracks I don't want to ruin with a fucked up mix. I'm getting better at it all the time, but sometimes I have to just not listen to it for weeks and weeks and just have an idea of how to fix a problem. Like, I'll think about the problems in it and go, how can I even solve that? I'll try loads of different ways and it'll all sound shit, you know, and go away for a few weeks and I'll come up with something. Or I might try something on a different track that I'm working on and go, oh shit, I'll apply it. That. Yeah. Yeah, see what Jamsla does with it. Be interested to hear. You can make a cool track. Like every single one of your tracks is just mad. So many crazy things going on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing, or at least I think one more session on Wanna Live. And you like it. You did ask me to do it on live stream, didn't you? I should do it. It's got a bit of is it deep? Not Deep Bridge, is it? Can't remember the name. Right. Doing it on live, yeah. I probably won't do it on live. It's a strange. I just want to. It's a strange moment I'm in, just trying things out with someone else's tune. I don't know. Maybe I should do it. I should do it. I don't know. Anyway, see you soon. Hopefully. Take care.